Often, the issue has less to do with personal animosity or disdain directed at you, and more with the opportunistic behavior of certain individuals. Some people attempt to elevate their status by exploiting others. This behavior is prevalent in various settings, including social groups and workplaces, where some view others merely as tools for their own advancement, trying to stand out while avoiding becoming targets of similar actions. It is crucial that you start by establishing self-respect. What does it truly mean to gain respect? It isn't about enforcing respect on someone else, but about stopping them from exploiting you to appear superior. If necessary, you should be ready to remove yourself from situations that don't value your contribution. However, it's always best to avoid reaching that point. To assist you with this, we will provide some useful advice for handling instances where someone tries to belittle you, whether at work, in social situations, or within your family. Before we proceed, we would appreciate your support. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the Mental Dose channel if you haven't done so yet. Now let's get right into the first piece of advice. First suggestion. First impressions are extremely important. When you encounter someone, make sure to stand up to shake their hand. Don't remain seated, and always keep eye contact. If you greet someone while sitting down, you put yourself at a disadvantage. They will be looking down at you, which creates an impression of submission. Another typical error is glancing at the other person's hand during a handshake or introduction. By focusing on their hand instead of their face and eyes, you inadvertently tilt your head downward, reinforcing the perception of submission. Therefore, whenever someone approaches you to greet you, make sure to stand and maintain eye contact while shaking their hand. Second tip. When someone cuts you off in a conversation in a public setting, the most effective response is to give that person a steady and assertive gaze. This straightforward act will convey a strong message, causing the person to recognize their error. You can then politely request to continue the conversation by saying something like, "May I proceed?" or "May I resume where I left off?" This method indicates to the other party that their interruption was unwelcome, and that you won't accept being interrupted without justification. Quite often, just that look of disapproval can be sufficient to halt their interruptions. This tactic is particularly effective in public and usually doesn't require glaring at the individual aggressively. Just maintaining calm eye contact will allow the other person to understand that it's time to stop drawing the attention to themselves. Third tip, if someone makes a joke at your expense among friends, try this approach. First, do not respond right away. Act as if you didn't hear or comprehend the joke, and then calmly direct your gaze towards the person who made the comment and ask them to say it again. You might say, "Excuse me, I wasn't really listening. Could you repeat that?" This response clearly shows that the joke had no effect on you and puts the joke teller in a challenging position, as they must repeat it. However, restating a joke reduces its effectiveness, particularly in this type of scenario. In this way, not only will you sidestep feeling awkward, but you will also be able to shift the situation to your advantage, making the other person feel uncomfortable, since narrating a joke a second time usually lacks the same humor as the first. By doing this, you will not only avoid any embarrassment, but also create a situation where the person who attempted to belittle you feels uneasy. Fourth tip. If someone is trying to get a rise out of you or provoke anger, consider using a useful psychological technique by posing a question or making a comment that is totally unrelated to the topic at hand, something that has no connection to the ongoing discussion. For instance, you might say, "Do you know a nice cafe around here?" Or, "I think I might have put on too much perfume today." It's crucial to make it sound casual so that the other person doesn't suspect your intention, as this technique disrupts their attempt to provoke you, compelling them to lose track of their effort to unsettle you. Finally, let's discuss the fifth and last piece of advice. As mentioned earlier, while individuals are not required to show you respect, you also have no obligation to put up with disrespect. If you notice that someone refuses to acknowledge you with the respect you deserve, it may be time to step away. Stepping away does not signify failure. Instead, it demonstrates your preference for being a valued absence rather than an undervalued presence. We would now like to hear from you. Have you ever faced a similar situation? What was your response? Please leave a comment with your experience and share your opinions on this matter. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.